So, there's definitely been one or two afters, as it were, after the Mexican Grand Prix and the battle between Max Verstappen and Lando Norris. Now, I've already done a video going in depth as to why Max Verstappen got his 2 10-second penalties during this Grand Prix. And unsurprisingly, of course, because people have been asking him about it, Lando Norris has had his say on the issue as well. And he said the following: I think he got what he had coming to him. And I must be honest, straight off the bat, do not disagree with that statement at all, Lando. But let's have a look at this, guys, in some more depth. A full article on the F1 Chronicle, as always. So, the fireworks from Austin continued in Mexico as Lando Norris was once again forced off the track by title rival Max Verstappen. However, unlike 1 week ago in Texas, on this occasion Verstappen was handed 2 10-second penalties, effectively ending his chance at a podium finish. As he moved 10 points closer in the championship standings, Norris felt the decision to penalise Verstappen was correct and something that was well deserved. He said the following: I don't think I need to say much. I think it's pretty self-explanatory on what happened. You know, I did everything I've been told in terms of what the rules are and the guidelines and all of that stuff. Yet it just wasn't to be. And of course, he got some penalties for that. But you know, like I said before in some interviews, I go into every race expecting a tough battle with Max. It's clear that it doesn't matter if he wins or is second, his only job is to beat me in the race. And he'll sacrifice himself to do that, like he did today. That is absolutely spot on. He didn't fight Carlos Sainz at all, but he more than got the elbows out against Lando Norris, to put it very mildly. But I want to have good battles with him. I want to have those tough battles, like I've seen him have plenty of times, but fair ones. It's always going to be on the line. It's always going to be tough with Max. He's never going to make anyone's life easy, especially mine at this point of the year. But I think today was just, it was not fair, clean racing, and therefore I think he got what was coming to him. The pair have come together several times in 2024, with Norris often on the receiving end, and he admitted it is something that is now he's coming to expect from his friend and title rival. I mean, yeah, Austria being the key example of that, and also Verstappen as well making contact with Sir Lewis at Hungary. Pretty embarrassing incidents, and this is the most glaring one since then, and probably maybe the worst of the lot, but I'd say with Norris this is probably worse than Austria because it was so aggressive. I knew what to expect. I didn't want to expect such a thing, but because I respect Max a lot as a driver, but I was ready to expect something like this, and yeah, not very clean driving in my opinion, but I avoided it. And it was a good race. I think the stewards said themselves that he deserved black and white flags for driving standards today, which he definitely did. So I think the 10-second penalty for the first one is standard. It's what he got also in Silverstone, which took away a win from him there. 5 seconds may be a little light, but I'm not going to sit here and say he should have got less or more. It's not up to me. It's not my thing to decide. But he got the black and whites. Maybe a warning for the future. But no, I'm happy. I mean, the first offence was very clear, the second one as well. The second one was far worse in my opinion. It's not like it was a small clip of a wheel or something like that, it was quite a big difference. Maybe there's a bit of inconsistency going on with the stewards and penalties and the decisions and so on, but it's not up to me. I don't want to start saying my opinion and start a controversy between us as drivers, the stewards. I'm sure they gave it their best view and their best judgment, so I'll leave it to that. I mean, this is the thing as well, right? This is a long article because there's a lot to cover at the end of the day, but this is the thing as well, and I said this in the immediate aftermath of the race, and it was very late at night, to be fair. I was quite tired. It was quite a challenge doing that video, but it's gone down very well, so thank you guys for the support on that. You know, I just think at this stage, Verstappen has got to the point now, and Lando alluded to it in the previous statement before the one I just read out. It's got to the point now where it doesn't matter what the rest of the field does. Verstappen's one intention, his one aim is to finish ahead of Lando Norris, and he will do everything to stop that happening. If he has to make contact with Norris to do that, he will do that, and he has done that already. If Lando Norris drove like he was entitled to drive in Mexico, he could have easily made contact with Verstappen, and the both of them would have been put out. And that would not be Lando Norris's fault, that would be firmly Max Verstappen's fault. But the point is that it benefits Max Verstappen, because then if they both gain no points, then it's another race ticked off the calendar effectively for Max Verstappen to survive and maintain that championship lead. Even though Lando Norris gained like 10 points on him this weekend, that's still not enough on average per race weekend for Lando Norris to win the title. He has to gain about 12 or 13 points each weekend in order to take the title. So even though it was a good day for Norris and he did all he could, it probably wasn't good enough, unfortunately, and that would have factored into Max Verstappen's thinking. He might act all innocent and like he doesn't know anything about this stuff, but he's very, very intelligent when it comes to this stuff. Everything he does is extremely calculated. It's just dangerous, that's the thing. These are not accidents, these are very deliberate manoeuvres by Max Verstappen to try and stop Lando Norris, and Lando Norris, to his credit, has risen above it when he easily could have made contact. Another driver might have not done the same thing, and I think he's probably learned from what happened in Austria as well, because they did make contact there, of course. But he shouldn't have to do that. He shouldn't have to drive that defensively. He shouldn't have to avoid a dangerous driver going wide. He shouldn't have to do that. These are world-class drivers at the end of the day, and Max Verstappen right now is making a mockery of the sport. While their friendship may have become strained as they fight for the championship, the pair do still talk, though Norris confirmed that they have not spoken about their on-track incident. I mean, we talk about a lot of things. It's not my job. It's got nothing to do with me in a way. Today I felt like I just had to avoid collisions, and that's not what you feel like you want to do in a race. He's in a very powerful position in the championship. He's a long way ahead. He has nothing to lose. People can say it's the other way around, like he's got everything to lose and it's all for me. But it's not the case, you know. So it's not for me. I'm focused on myself. I'm doing my own job, which did a good job today. And I'm happy with all of this, and I'm happy with the whole weekend. But it's not my job to control him. He knows how to drive, and I'm sure he knows that today he was probably a bit over the limit. Very diplomatic, Norris. With just 4 race weekends left in 2024, Norris is happy to find himself in these battles and in the championship discussion, something that was unthinkable in pre-season testing. I think there's probably not one person in the world back in Bahrain testing who would have said that McLaren and Lando are going to be fighting for the championship. Maybe not fighting it yet, but there's a chance, there's an opportunity there, and no one would have said that, no chance. So the fact that we have been improving the car, but then we're still in that position to be able to keep fighting and pick up on every opportunity we have, it's very impressive from everyone in the factory and everyone in the team. We're up against the best in Red Bull, and everybody knows that, so it's always going to be tough, but we're doing a very good job. We're doing everything we can. I don't think we can do a lot else, a lot more than what we're doing already. It's been very impressive, and we'll keep on pushing. There's a lot of people supporting us as well, so it's a cool feeling. As the paddock heads to Brazil, Norris is looking for every opportunity to narrow the points gap and capitalise on every moment. We need to make some updates, bring some good things to the car, which is not easy to do with the cost cap and so on, but that's probably one of the best things we can do. And then from my side, just make sure I'm doing a good job in every time in the car. And then if Max makes mistakes or has issues and so on, then being there to capitalise on them and take the points away from him, like today, maybe. But just keep doing what I'm doing. I'm doing a good job, the team are doing a good job, and we're doing everything we can. That's all we can ask for. So yeah, big article there, guys, a lot to go through. Just something I will add to that all as well is that, you know, Ferrari have got themselves in a very interesting position as well, and I've not spoke about them too much with this because they've overtaken Red Bull into second in the Constructors' Championship now. An interesting fact as well, if Max Verstappen does manage to win the title and Red Bull do finish third in the Constructors, it'll be the lowest down that a constructor has ever finished with a driver winning the World Championship since Nelson Piquet winning it for Brabham back in 1983. It's very rare that a driver who wins the Drivers' Championship has a car and a team that is outside the top 2 in the standings. It's very rarely happened in the history of Formula 1. But Ferrari have got themselves in an interesting position now because their car is arguably the fastest on the grid. They've got a double podium in Mexico and a 1-2 in the US. Could they steal the Constructors' Championship from McLaren? It's possible, especially if there is a crash between Max Verstappen and Lando Norris, which, given what happened in Mexico, honestly, I'll be shocked if those two don't make contact at any point during these last 4 races of the season. 2 sprint races included in that as well, including the round that is coming up, Brazil, which is the first of those 2 remaining sprints. So my eyes are absolutely going to be glued to the screen watching Formula 1 this weekend. It's going to be fascinating, it's going to be eventful, it's going to be dramatic, and we're going to bring it all here on the F1Chronicle.com, guys. For much more F1 content, of course, keep it tuned to this website. Thanks for all the support and everything on all the social medias, Microsoft, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, of course, as well. And we'll see you very soon for some more news here on the F1Chronicle.com. Like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell as well, and we'll see you very soon, guys. Have a good one.